First contact and defiance. The signal came on a Tuesday. A cascade of anomalies rippled through Earth's deep space monitoring network as sensors detected massive energy signatures materializing at the edge of our solar system. Within hours, astronomers confirmed what military strategists had been preparing for since humanity first ventured beyond their atmosphere. We were not alone, and whoever had arrived came in force. Admiral Kayla Rodriguez stood motionless before the holographic display in Earth Defense Command's underground bunker beneath the Swiss Alps. 27 vessels of unknown configuration moved in perfect formation, their hulls absorbing rather than reflecting light, black shapes cutting across the stars like holes in reality itself. "Are they responding to hails?" she asked, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. Communications Officer Wei shook his head. "No, Admiral. We've transmitted on all known frequencies, using mathematical sequences as universal translators. They're receiving but not responding." Rodriguez studied the tactical display where the alien fleet had taken position just beyond Mars' orbit. Their approach had been deliberate, not the rushed advance of conquerors, but the measured pace of those who believed victory was assured. That alone told her more about their intentions than any message could have. "They're assessing us," she murmured, "testing our response protocols." General Okonkwo, representing the African Union forces, stepped forward. "Then perhaps we should give them something to assess. The orbital defense grid is at full capacity. The lunar batteries are charged. We cold." "No," Rodriguez cut him off. "We show strength through restraint. For now." She turned to the assembled military leaders representing Earth's unified defense coalition. "Prepare all assets but hold positions. I want every ship crewed, every weapon hot, but no provocative movements." For 3 tense days, the alien fleet maintained their position, silent and watchful. Earth's government struggled to contain public panic as images of the vessels spread across the global network. Religious leaders proclaimed the end times, markets crashed, and in some regions, riots erupted as people hoarded supplies. Then, without warning, a single smaller craft detached from the alien formation and accelerated toward Earth, bypassing defensive perimeters with technology that rendered conventional tracking systems useless. It halted in high orbit, and a transmission finally came. The message appeared simultaneously on every connected device on the planet. Screens, holographic displays, neural interfaces, bypassing all security protocols as though they were children's toys. A figure appeared, humanoid but undeniably alien. Tall, with elongated limbs, and a head that seemed disproportionately large. Its skin was the color of burnished copper, and multiple eyes, 6 in total, blinked in unsettling patterns across its face. "People of Earth," the translation matrix converted its clicks and whistles into human language. "I am Nexer, emissary of the Taurian hegemony. For millennia, we have observed your development from primitive mammals to a species on the verge of true spaceflight. Your technological progress in the last century has been concerning." The creature made a gesture that might have been dismissive. "The hegemony oversees the development of younger species throughout this sector of the galaxy. Those who demonstrate potential for peaceful integration are welcomed as client races. Those who exhibit dangerous tendencies toward aggression and unchecked expansion must be managed." Admiral Rodriguez stood before the emergency session of the United Nations Security Council, watching the aliens' recorded message with the world's leaders. "Humanity has been classified as a Category 4 threat, a species with technological capability outpacing its ethical evolution. Your constant warfare, your environmental destruction, your unchecked artificial intelligence experiments, these mark you as unstable." Nexer's multiple eyes blinked in sequence. "However, the hegemony is merciful. We offer you a place as a protected territory. You will dismantle your military vessels, deactivate your weapon systems, and accept Taurian administrators to guide your species toward acceptable behavior. In exchange, we will share limited technological knowledge and ensure your planet remains untouched by the more aggressive species that inhabit the void." The alien's final words hung in the air like a death sentence. You have 48 Earth hours to signal your acceptance by powering down your defensive systems. Any resistance will be regarded as rejection of our generous offer and will result in immediate pacification measures. Choose wisely. The transmission cut off, leaving stunned silence in the council chamber. They're not here to communicate, Rodriguez said, breaking the silence. They're here to subjugate. President Chen of the Chinese Federation looked grim. Their technology appears centuries beyond ours. Conventional resistance would be suicide. Perhaps, Dr. Aisha Mbiki interjected. As head of Earth's Advanced Weapons Research Division, her opinion carried significant weight, but their message revealed more than they intended. They've been watching us for millennia, but seem unaware of our recent breakthroughs. The Quantum Shield Network, Project Prometheus, the Armstrong Protocols. Rodriguez nodded slowly, understanding dawning. They're basing their assessment on outdated intelligence. Precisely, Mbiki confirmed. They expect a fragmented response from competing nations. They don't know about the Unity Accords signed after the climate wars. They don't know that humanity has been preparing for this exact scenario for decades. Secretary General Alvarez rose from his seat. Are you suggesting we reject their terms? That we fight a technologically superior force? I'm suggesting, Rodriguez replied, that they only win if we accept their narrative of our inferiority. Over the next 47 hours, Earth executed the most complex coordinated operation in human history. While publicly appearing to debate the alien ultimatum, military and scientific teams activated systems that had been developed in secret for just such a contingency. Beneath the surface of the moon, massive hangar doors slid open, revealing squadrons of ships built using reverse-engineered technology from the Roswell incident decades earlier. On Earth, quantum communication networks bypassed conventional signals that aliens might monitor. And in orbit, seemingly civilian satellites reconfigured themselves, revealing weapon systems disguised as weather monitoring equipment. When the deadline approached, Admiral Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the EDS Defiance, Earth's flagship that had been hidden beneath the Antarctic ice sheet until this moment. Around her, a fleet of 300 vessels, small by comparison to the alien Armada, but armed with technology the Taurians couldn't anticipate. Open a channel, she ordered. All frequencies. On screens across the alien fleet, Rodriguez's face appeared, her expression resolute. Emissary Nexer of the Taurian hegemony. I am Admiral Kayla Rodriguez of the United Earth Defense Force. We have received your terms and reached our decision. She paused, allowing tension to build. Humanity rejects your offer of subjugation disguised as protection. We will not dismantle our defenses. We will not surrender our sovereignty. She leaned forward slightly. You have grossly miscalculated both our capabilities and our resolve. The species you observed for millennia has evolved beyond your understanding. We prefer peaceful coexistence, but if forced to fight, we will demonstrate why categorizing humanity as merely a threat was your first mistake. Rodriguez gave a slight nod. You have 1 hour to withdraw from our solar system. After that, we will consider your presence an act of war. The transmission cut off. On the bridge, Lieutenant Commander Jackson whispered, Do you think they'll leave? Rodriguez watched the tactical display, where the alien vessels were beginning to move into attack formation. No, she said, her voice calm. I think they're about to learn why humanity has survived every extinction-level threat our planet has thrown at us. She activated the fleet-wide command channel. All ships, battle stations. Execute Operation Thunderbolt. As the alien fleet advanced, humanity prepared to make its stand. What the Taurians didn't realize was that humans had spent centuries imagining this very scenario. In books, films, games, and military simulations, humanity had mentally prepared for first contact countless times, and unlike the aliens who expected submission, humans were prepared to fight with the desperate creativity that had defined their species since they first wielded fire against the darkness. The alien vessels accelerated toward Earth, energy weapons charging. They expected easy victory against a primitive species. What they encountered instead was the full measure of human defiance, and the beginning of a battle that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of the small blue planet and its dangerous inhabitants. Counterattack and victory. The first volley from the Taurian fleet should have annihilated Earth's defenses. Their energy weapons, brilliant lances of superheated plasma, carved through space toward the planet. But 3 seconds before impact, the quantum shield network activated. Thousands of satellites simultaneously generated overlapping fields that bent space-time itself, redirecting the destructive energy harmlessly into the void. On the bridge of the alien flagship, emissary Nexer's 6 eyes widened in disbelief. "Impossible," he hissed to his war council. Their technological profile indicated no defensive capabilities of this magnitude. His chief strategist, Vorlak, reviewed the sensor readings with growing concern. The humans have concealed their true advancement level. This contradicts all our surveillance data. "It changes nothing," Nexer declared, mandibles clicking in irritation. "Deploy the subjugation fleet. Overwhelm their defenses with numbers." But as the Taurian vessels advanced, Admiral Rodriguez initiated the next phase of humanity's response. "Execute Armstrong protocols," she commanded. Across Earth's lunar surface, what appeared to be natural craters suddenly shifted as massive gun emplacements emerged from hidden bunkers. These railguns, electromagnetic accelerators capable of launching projectiles at near-relativistic speeds, had been installed during the supposedly scientific Lunar Habitation Initiative over the past decade. Now they revealed their true purpose. The first barrage caught 3 Taurian destroyers completely unprotected. Their shields, designed to repel energy weapons, proved useless against solid tungsten rods moving at 20% the speed of light. The vessels shattered like glass, debris scattering across space. "Target their propulsion systems," Rodriguez ordered as Earth's fleet moved into strategic formation. "Disable, don't destroy where possible. We want prisoners, we want intact technology, and we want to send a message." The space between Earth and Mars became a chaotic battlefield as human vessels executed maneuvers the Taurians had never encountered. Instead of meeting the aliens in traditional formation, Earth's ships fought using tactics developed from centuries of human conflict. Guerrilla warfare adapted for the void of space. Commander Elena Santos led Shadow Squadron, 12 stealth vessels equipped with prototype phase shift technology, directly into the heart of the Taurian formation. "Commence Operation Ghost Protocol," she instructed her pilots. The human ships temporarily shifted partially out of normal space-time, becoming semi-corporeal as they passed directly through the alien defense grid. "Deploy boarding parties," Santos ordered as they rematerialized alongside the Taurian command vessel. Specially trained soldiers in advanced combat suits magnetically attached to the alien hull. Using molecular disruptors, technology developed from the study of a crashed alien scout ship in the Gobi Desert 50 years earlier. They cut entry points into the vessel's armor. Inside the alien flagship, alarms blared as internal sensors detected the breach. Taurian security forces rushed to repel the boarders, but they encountered an enemy unlike any they had faced before. Human soldiers moved with a ferocity and adaptability that shocked the aliens, where Taurian military doctrine relied on overwhelming force and numerical superiority. Humans fought with cunning, improvisation, and a willingness to sacrifice that bordered on madness. Meanwhile, in Earth's orbit, the battle intensified. The Taurians, recovering from their initial surprise, brought their superior numbers to bear. Several human vessels succumbed to concentrated fire, their crews ejecting in survival pods before destruction. "They're adapting to our tactics," Lieutenant Commander Jackson warned as the Defiance rocked from a near miss. Rodriguez nodded grimly. "As expected, initiate Prometheus Protocol." Throughout the solar system, seemingly dormant probes on various asteroids and moons suddenly activated. These autonomous weapons platforms, disguised as scientific exploration vehicles, created a secondary battlefront that forced the Taurian fleet to divide its attention. Aboard the alien flagship, Commander Santos and her strike team fought their way toward the Central Command Center. Their internal architecture is consistent with the intelligence reports. She communicated back to the Defiance. "We're approaching their data core." The team's mission was critical. Extract the Taurian battle plans and, more importantly, access their communications network to broadcast Earth's response to the wider galactic community. The hegemony had presented humans as primitive savages needing control. Humanity would show the galaxy the truth. Dr. Maya Patel, the team's xenotech specialist, interfaced her neural implants with the alien systems. Their encryption is complex but follows predictable patterns. She reported as her enhanced mind processed information at speeds no unmodified human could match. "I'm in their network, accessing fleet command protocols." What she discovered sent a chill through the strike team. "Admiral," she transmitted to Rodriguez, "the Taurians have called for reinforcements. A second fleet, 3 times this size, is being diverted from another system. Estimated arrival, 18 hours. Rodriguez processed this information with calculated calm. "Understood. Accelerate timeline for Phase 3. Phase 3 was humanity's greatest gamble. For decades, the most brilliant minds on Earth had worked to understand and harness the fundamental forces that shaped the universe. Project Helios was the result, a theoretical weapons system that could manipulate gravitational waves themselves. "Bring the Helios platforms online," Rodriguez commanded. In high Earth orbit, 6 unremarkable satellites changed configuration, solar panels retracting as their true components aligned. Together, they formed a gravitational lens capable of focusing and projecting a highly concentrated gravitational pulse. "Target the Taurian flagship's propulsion section," Rodriguez ordered. "Minimum effective yield." The weapon fired silently, invisible waves of distorted space-time, striking the alien vessel with surgical precision. Metal crumpled inward as if crushed by an invisible fist, the ship's drive core collapsing in on itself without destroying the entire vessel. On the Taurian bridge, panic erupted as systems failed and the massive ship began to drift. Nexer gripped his command podium, mandibles clicking rapidly in their equivalent of shocked disbelief. "What technology is this? It defies all known physics of lesser species." At that moment, the doors to the bridge slid open. Commander Santos and her team stood in the entrance, weapons raised. "In the name of the United Earth Government," Santos declared, "this vessel is now under human control." Nexer's multiple eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of extreme agitation. This is unprecedented. No Category 4 species has ever successfully resisted subjugation. "Perhaps," Santos replied coldly, "you should have created a new category." Throughout the solar system, the tide had decisively turned. The Taurian vessels, deprived of central command and faced with weapons they had no defense against, began to retreat or surrender. The battle that was supposed to be a simple subjugation had become a humiliating defeat. Admiral Rodriguez opened a channel to all remaining alien vessels. "Attention Taurian forces, your flagship has been captured. Your communications network has been compromised. We have accessed your battle plans, including the coordinates for your incoming reinforcements." She paused to let that sink in. "Before they arrive, understand this. We have already transmitted everything we've learned about your technology, your tactics, and your intentions to our outposts throughout this system." She leaned forward, her expression resolute. "The reinforcement fleet you've summoned will not find a defenseless Earth. They will find a prepared humanity with weapons specifically calibrated against your vulnerabilities. They will find the wreckage of your advanced fleet. They will find your commander in our custody." Rodriguez's voice remained measured but carried undeniable authority. "Or they could find a message of peace. Your choice, but consider carefully. You came here believing us to be primitive and aggressive. Ask yourselves who initiated hostilities today and who offered the first chance to withdraw. Within hours, the remaining Taurian vessels had retreated beyond Neptune's orbit. Emissary Nexar and several high-ranking officers remained in human custody, not as prisoners of war, but as diplomatic guests who would be returned once formal communications were established with the hegemony leadership. 3 days later, when the Taurian reinforcement fleet arrived at the edge of the solar system, they found not a battlefield but a diplomatic delegation waiting. Admiral Rodriguez personally greeted the alien commander from the bridge of the Defiance. "We have much to discuss," she told the bewildered Taurian admiral. "First and foremost, the terms under which Earth will join the galactic community, not as a subject race, but as equals." The aftermath of what became known as the First Contact Crisis transformed humanity's position in the galaxy. The Taurian hegemony, faced with the humiliating defeat of their subjugation force, reluctantly acknowledged Earth as an independent power. Other galactic civilizations, learning of how humans had repelled a force believed undefeatable, sent their own diplomatic missions to the previously ignored solar system. 1 year after the battle, at the formal signing of the Sol Hegemony Treaty, Admiral Rodriguez stood before representatives from 27 alien civilizations in the newly constructed Harmony Dome in Geneva. "We did not seek conflict," she told the assembled diplomats, "but neither would we accept subjugation. Humanity's history is filled with struggles against nature, against ourselves, and now against those who would deny our right to self-determination. Each challenge has forged us, taught us, prepared us for the next." She gestured toward the stars visible through the dome's transparent ceiling. "We come now to the galactic community not as conquerors, not as subjects, but as equals. We bring with us our passion, our creativity, our resilience, and yes, our capacity for both tremendous violence and extraordinary compassion." Rodriguez met the gaze of the Taurian High Chancellor, who had personally come to sign the treaty. "Let what happened here serve not as the beginning of enmity between our peoples, but as a lesson in mutual respect. The universe is vast enough for all of us, provided we acknowledge one another's right to exist freely." As she finished speaking, a new constellation became visible in the evening sky. The lights of Earth's first official embassy ships departing for alien worlds, carrying human diplomats, scientists, and cultural ambassadors. The message was clear. Humanity had not only defended its home, but was now ready to take its place among the stars. In a quiet moment after the ceremony, the Taurian Chancellor approached Rodriguez privately. "You could have destroyed our fleet entirely," he observed. "You had the capability. Why show restraint?" Rodriguez smiled slightly. "Because the true measure of advancement isn't the ability to destroy, but the wisdom to know when not to. You came expecting to find savages. We chose to show you something else instead." The Chancellor's 6 eyes blinked in their curious pattern. "And what was that?" "Admiral, that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our ferocity," Rodriguez replied. "It's our capacity to imagine better futures, even in our darkest moments, and then fight like hell to make them real." She extended her hand in the human gesture of friendship. "Now, shall we begin again?" After a moment's hesitation, the alien extended his own limb, completing the gesture that would be recorded in history as the true beginning of humanity's cosmic journey, not as conquerors or subjects, but as architects of their own destiny among the stars.